In 1962, the world was holding its breath, terrified of nuclear war. But in a quiet room at MIT, a college student staying up late was about to accidentally change entertainment forever. This wasn't a big company or a flashy arcade. This was just one student, a computer the size of a room, and a game that would ignite the entire video game industry. That student's name was Steve Russell. He was studying at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a place filled with brilliant minds. Back then, computers weren't in our pockets. They were enormous, incredibly expensive machines used for serious scientific and military research. MIT had one of the best in the world, the PDP-1. It cost over $120,000, which is more than $1 million in today's money. While most people used it for complex calculations, Steve Russell had a completely different idea. Russell was part of a group called the Tech Model Railroad Club, famous for its hacker culture, not the criminals we think of today, but curious tinkerers who loved pushing technology to its absolute limits. One evening in 1962, Russell and his friends were talking about their favorite science fiction stories, imagining epic spaceship battles. Suddenly, a light bulb went on. Russell realized the PDP-1, with its real-time graphic display, could bring that fantasy to life. So, he started coding. He created a game he called Spacewar. In it, two players each controlled a small spaceship. You could rotate, thrust forward, and fire torpedoes at your opponent. But there was a twist. In the center of the screen, a star exerted a real gravitational pull. If your ship drifted too close, it would get sucked in and destroyed. This wasn't just a tech demo. It was a fast-paced, interactive game. By the end of 1962, Spacewar was the hottest thing at MIT. Students would gather around the screen late at night, cheering and competing. The controls weren't even on a keyboard. They were custom-built switches because keyboards were too clunky for the fast action. The game started to spread. As other universities got their own PDP-1 computers, students would share the code for Spacewar for free. There was no copyright, no company, no profit. It was a passion project shared among a community, becoming the first video game to be distributed far and wide. Its influence was monumental. A few years later, a young student named Nolan Bushnell saw Spacewar and was blown away. He was so inspired that he went on to create Computer Space, the first commercial arcade game, which led directly to him founding Atari and creating the legendary game Pong. The rest is history. Steve Russell never made a dime from Spacewar. He just went on to have a successful career in computer science. But the fundamental rules of video games, player control, real-time physics, and head-to-head competition were all born in that lab. It's amazing to think that the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry we know today didn't start in a corporate boardroom. It started with a student who just wanted to have a little fun playing in space. Thanks for watching.